cars out there are totaled.
Are totaled?
Yep.
Flattened by debris, shockwave, or what?
Debris, the shockwave. I took a look at my car was just totaled by the shockwave. The windshield, it was a convertible, collapsed. Everything's down. I saw debris from the other building on top of my buddy's car, and that was totaled from that. So, you know, they wouldn't even let us look at it because they were afraid that there was another explosion.
Where are you now?
I'm at home. I just finally got home.
And you say you work at RPS.
Yes, I do.
Was your building evacuated?
Yeah, immediately.
Okay, and you were sent home?
Yes, we were.
How did you get home if your car is flat? Were you able to use it?
No, I made a phone call and someone came to pick me up.
Okay, but the cars in your lot there have been essentially flattened by this blast?
Most of the cars on that side of where that building were, because that building is on the same side as, like, RPS. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. How about the building where you work? Damaged by this?
I think it's a little bit more than moderate damage, so I think it's a lot more damage. I mean, walls are collapsing, roofs, water mains are falling.
At RPS?
Yes, it was bad. It was bad. It was a shock. I didn't know what happened. I did not know what happened.
Huh. Now, did you have any visual of what was happening over there at the scene when you left in terms of injuries, or whether people were inside the buildings where the blast took place?
2 minutes after we got out, there was a cop on the scene right away. They arrived they were there very quick. We weren't sure if anybody were in there, but then about 10 minutes later, we heard that there was people like working second shift or something like that in that building. So my supervisor went down there to see if he could see anybody from the outside instead of going in, and he couldn't see anything, and he came back up because he was afraid something else was going to happen. There was like a burning sensation, too, for the smoke. It was like, you know, they told you not to breathe it, that something's burning, and I felt it in my eyes and all.
Then you immediately got to home from that point?
Yes, one of the companies next door let us use the phone, and we all, right away, we were trying to get out of there as quick as possible because we really didn't know what was going on.
And no one hurt at RPS, even though there's some damage?
Thank the Lord that no one got hurt.
And as far as you know, any injuries you might have heard about were at the company where the explosion actually took place?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Incredible. Hector, do call us back if you have any more information, or perhaps get on with our producer when I'm finished talking with you so we can get back in touch with you later on.
Can I say one more thing?
Please do.
We're praying for the people that were in that building. So our prayers are out for them.
I think a lot of people are, in fact, praying for the folks in that building as well.
Okay.
Thank you, Hector.
Thank you.
Okay, hang on a minute. Hector Vargas works at the RPS building, which he says is very close to, just across a parking lot from the building where the explosion took place. Tremendous blast, he says, that damaged cars in the parking lot at RPS. He says his own car was totaled by the falling of debris and perhaps by shockwave from the explosion at the company where this took place. And, in fact, he says, if you're just tuning in, that there was damage at the RPS building where he worked, and his building was immediately evacuated. Evidently, other buildings where there is work going on at night in that industrial park have had people evacuated as well. What we're still at a loss to tell you is a number of injuries at the building where this did take place. And unfortunately, there's a bit of confusion about the name of the outfit that indeed has had the explosion, numbers of people there. Hector said, although this is just some conjecture or secondhand information, that there was word passed around at the scene of a second shift that was working at the plant where the explosion has taken place. And the Level 2 disaster, if I can repeat that for you, declared by Lehigh County Communications Center, would indicate numerous injuries. Also, of course, the presence of numerous ambulances going to and from the scene. As you look, these pictures are taken just a little bit earlier, not live from Jet Chopper 69, but just from a little while ago, where you can see smoke still billowing out of the building that is most severely damaged at this company. Again, Lehigh County had told us of 4 buildings with damage. I'm not sure whether they're including the RPS building in that count, because this gentleman we just spoke to said RPS was also affected. But the county says 1 building severely damaged. That much we can see in the center of your picture there, the building that's very badly damaged. Another building with moderate damage and 2 with medium damage. Also, the county was telling us smoke and fumes in the area. And again, they were advising people to stay away from the area, and certainly, if you can, stay inside, not to breathe the air. They see a little smoke coming out. I remind you that these pictures are not live now. These were taken just a little while ago, and probably some of the smoke has dissipated to a certain extent. We're waiting also from official sources to get information about the explosion itself and the nature of it, the nature of the cloud that came out of it. You heard some witnesses, if you've been with us for a while, tell us on the phone that the cloud seemed to rise miles in the air. And certainly it was seen all around the area. We could see it here at Channel 69, which is several miles to the south of where the explosion took place, as smoke billowed into the air from this industrial plant. And the blast was felt miles around, not just to the south where we are in the South Allentown area on South Mountain, but also in Emmaus, as far away as the Bangor area, which is a number of miles to the northeast of here, and to the northwest in Slatington and Schnecksville. A couple of callers telling us it felt like an earthquake. At this point, we're not sure about the number of people who still may be, if any, trapped inside the buildings there at this industrial site in Hanover Township. The township has been, or rather the county has been dribbling in some information to us to let us know what they know, what they've been able to give out about this. To the best of our knowledge, they are still calling this a level 2 disaster, indicating numerous injuries, and they are telling us that there has been some smoke and fumes in the area, so it's a good idea to keep your doors closed, keep your windows closed, and certainly prudence would dictate that if you're out there and you see any of the smoke that we've been talking about, that you stay away from that and don't breathe that air. A number of people told us of debris on the ground in East Allentown. We had a call about pieces of insulation-type material having fallen in someone's front yard. A woman called me a few minutes ago in the newsroom to say she had just about been knocked out of her bed by the blast, which took place at 8:15 tonight. And a number also told us of their front doors of their homes being knocked open by the force. And then you heard from a caller a few minutes ago, or if you're just tuning in, a fellow who was in the Sears store at the Whitehall Mall. He was on the second floor, and they felt a tremendous blast there. They felt what he called, and he said he was in engineering, he said it felt like a shock wave that came through the Sears store that actually dazed everyone in the store. In fact, it knocked the ceiling tiles up into the air in the Sears store and then back down, leaving dust all over people, and they were wandering around in the Sears wondering what that was, just a little bit dazed before they went on to business as usual, and some people left out of concern and went home. We're going to take a brief break in our coverage of the disastrous explosion in Hanover Township, Lehigh County. We'll be back with more of our special coverage in a moment. Welcome back to our special live coverage of a disastrous explosion in Lehigh County tonight. Happened about 8:15 in Hanover Township, Lehigh County, near Lehigh Valley International Airport. Evidently, it has not affected the airport. You perhaps have heard some of our conversations with callers over the last few minutes, giving us an idea of just how tremendous this blast was, how it felt, how it shook the area. Folks all around the area have been contacting us to tell us just how far and wide, in fact, it was felt. We have information now that this was felt as far away as the Poconos. We were told that the Moscow Fire Hall north of Tobyhanna felt it. As you look again at a live picture from Jet Chopper 69 of the explosion scene in Hanover Township, we were told as far away as Mountain Home in the Pocono area, New Tripoli, for many miles around, and a lot of folks thinking because of the way it felt that it happened in their own neighborhoods, perhaps at an industrial plant near them. It's just that the force was felt for many miles around. We have a gentleman on the phone now who is joining us, named Joe. Joe, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
What can you tell us about this this place that's had an explosion tonight?
Well, I'm about 100% sure it's Concept Science. I used to work for a company, Airgas, and Concept Science used to be a customer of mine. I used to sell them nitrogen, and what they did was refine chemicals. They got it in like a powder form, and then they just refined it to a pure form. Okay, so you work in the chemical business. I did work in the gas industry. So we have not had official word from the county about the name of this company, but to your knowledge, could the kind of thing that we've experienced tonight, this tremendous blast, happen at a place that works with the kind